The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is doing some counting forward. Can you start at the number 996 and count forward for me?
996, 997, 998, 999, 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, 1,010, 1,011, 1,012.
You can stop there, Daniel. This time could you backwards count for me, starting at the number 605?
605, 604, 603, 602, 601, 600, 599, 598, 597, 596.
You can stop there, Daniel. I'll give you some cards, and I just want you to read what it says on the card. What does this one say?
1,539.
And this one?
2,056.
And this one?
4,008.
And this one?
13,427.
Thank you. This time, instead of counting one by one like we did before, I'd like you to count by 100. Could you start at the number 576?
576, 676, 776, 876, 976, 1,076, 1,176, 1,276, 1,376.
Thank you. And this time, I'd like you to do a little backward counting by 100. Can you start at 1,250 and count backward by 100?
1,250, 1,150, 1,050, 950, 850, 750.
You may stop there. Thank you. This time, Daniel, I've got some numbers on these cards, and I'd like you to read these numbers. What does that number say?
2/4.
And this one?
1/3.
And this one?
3/3.
Great. We're going to keep those so we can see them. And I'm going to give you a pencil. And on the back here, we've got a number line. Can you see, Daniel, how they've already made a little mark and labeled it 0, a little mark and labeled it 1, and a mark and labeled it 2. It's going to be your job to put these 3 numbers on the number line where they would belong. So where do you think you said this was 2/4? Can you make a little mark and label it? Where does 2/4 belong on that number line?
Not sure.
Give me your best idea. If this is something you haven't done before, just give me your best thought. Think about what.
I think it's over here.
Okay. Make a mark and write 2/4 by it. And you called this one 1/3. Where does 1/3 go? And you said this one was 3/3. Where does that go?
I think it's over here.
Okay. So on the same mark you made there, or a different? Okay, so all of these are the same names for that same spot. I understand. Thank you. I'm going to show you this array of dots, and there's lots of dots, but I'm just showing you the top row, and the top row has 6 dots. Daniel, if I tell you that there are 4 rows all together, how many?
4.
You knew the answer before I asked the question. I was going to ask how many dots are there all together, and you told me what?
24.
How did you know that?
Because 6 times 4 equals 24.
All right. And Daniel, how many eyes would 11 people have?
22.
How'd you know that?
11 times 2.
And if there are 20 books and we wanted to share those among 4 children, how many books will each child get?
5.
How'd you know that?
20 divided by 4.
All right. Can you read this card for me, Daniel? What does it say?
495 plus 130.
Can you work that out? Show me how you would solve it.
First I'd go on the littler number. I'd go on the ones row.
Okay, and what would you do?
And 5 plus 0 equals 5.
Okay.
Then I go on this row, 9 plus 3 equals 12, and 12 is too big to fit on 1. So I put the 1, I think, over here. I'm not sure. Then 14 plus 1 is 50.
Okay.
Wait. I still think the answer is like 600. 6. This would help if it wasn't a column problem.
You prefer them up and down? Since it's not, well, can you try to do your best to think about it?
Six, 2, 5.
So what number is that?
625.
Okay.
I think.
So I can tell that you like to, you even told me that you like to think of it up and down, and you like to kind of think about it digit by digit, don't you? Start with the ones and then think about whether it's enough to put in that spot or whether it's too big and you did some carrying and things. And usually there's more than one way to solve a problem, so you've got one way that works for you. Is there another way to solve it that would tell me a little bit more about the size of the numbers? Because I heard you saying before things like 9, when you were adding things together, you said 9 plus 3 is 12. But then later you said, but wait, I think the number should be like 600 something, right? You knew it should be in the hundreds because of the size of the numbers. Can you tell me another way to solve it that would help me know that you understand the size of the numbers, not just the digits?
I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I'm in school and I'm forgetting a lot of things.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. And how about this last question? Read that one for us.
400 minus 198.
Can you work that one out, Daniel?
212.
212. And how did you work that out?
Because 198. So first I take the hundreds. So this would be 300. And then I take the 98, minus it off. So now it's 212.
And how did you minus the 98?
I used these like 2 different numbers to minus off 400.
Right.
This counts as 100.
So I heard you say 400 minus 100 is 300, right? And then you said I have 300 and I still want to take away 98, right? And how did you take away the 98 from the 300?
It's almost 100, so I just put it on 200. And wait, I think it's 402. 202.
202? Tell me why you changed your mind.
Because 98, at first I thought this was an 8.
Oh, but it's 98, and so now if you have 300 and you take away 98, you think it'll be what now?
202.
Gotcha. All right. Super.